So, for decades, the story has been the same, right? You work hard, you save up, you dream of a better life, and that dream often has a maple leaf on it. Canada, the land of politeness, poutine, and endless opportunities. It's been the promised land for so many, especially for people from India. But lately, the script has been flipped. The story is changing, and people are starting to ask a question that would have sounded crazy just a few years ago. Does it still make sense to live in Canada, or is India now the better long-term choice? It's like finding out your favorite superhero is suddenly working for the villain, and you're left wondering, wait, what happened? The dream of a Canadian life with its high income and pristine landscapes is clashing with a harsh reality of insane living costs and a system that feels, well, stretched to its breaking point. In this eye-opening video, we're going to put these two giants head-to-head. We're not just looking at the postcard pictures, we're getting into the nitty-gritty. We compare the real costs of living, income levels, property taxes, insurance, education, healthcare, and lifestyle benefits between India and Canada. We're going to be the referee in this epic lifestyle showdown, looking at everything from your grocery bill to your retirement plan, and we're not stopping there. We're going to explore a phenomenon that's gaining momentum every single day. We'll also dive into why immigrants are returning to India and why many have stopped coming to Canada in 2025. What is driving this reverse migration? Is the Canadian dream dying, or is the Indian reality just getting that much better? Stick around, because we're about to unpack one of the biggest global shifts of our time, and the answer might just change how you see your future. Let's talk about the big one first: money. The number one reason people move, right? In Canada, the average after-tax household income sounds pretty impressive on paper. We're talking somewhere in the ballpark of 75,000 Canadian dollars a year. That translates to a nice chunky number in your bank account every month. It's the kind of number that makes you think, yes, I've made it. You see that figure and you imagine a comfortable life, a nice car, maybe a little cottage by the lake. It's the headline, the big promise. It's what gets you to pack your bags and brave the Canadian winter. But here's where the plot thickens. In India, the average household income is, let's be honest, significantly lower. We're looking at a fraction of that Canadian number. And this is where most comparisons stop. People say, case closed, Canada wins. But it's not that simple, is it? It's like comparing the speed of a cheetah to a dolphin. They're operating in completely different environments. That Canadian income might be higher, but as we're about to see, it gets eaten alive by expenses faster than a free donut at a police station. The real question isn't how much you make. It's how much you, and more importantly, what that money can actually buy you in your daily life. All right, so you've got your Canadian paycheck. Now let's try to find a place to live. Good luck. This is where the Canadian dream often turns into a financial nightmare. A simple two-bedroom apartment in a major city like Toronto or Vancouver, you're looking at rent that can easily swallow half of your post-tax income. Buying a house? That's a whole other level of comedy. The average home price is a number with so many zeros it looks like a typo. Then you have mortgages with rising interest rates, sky-high property taxes that feel like paying rent on a house you already own, and insurance costs that just add another layer of salt to the wound. It's a system where you work incredibly hard just to afford the roof over your head. Now let's hop on a plane back to India. The contrast is staggering. Yes, property in Mumbai or Delhi can be expensive, but the options are vast and varied. You can find affordable housing in thriving Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities that simply doesn't exist in Canada's major hubs. Rent is a fraction of the cost, and property taxes are almost negligible in comparison. You can actually own a home without signing away your soul and your firstborn child to the bank. The pressure is just less. In Canada, your home owns you. In India, you can still own your home. It's a fundamental difference in the relationship between you, your money, and your living space. So you've paid your rent or mortgage. Now you've got to, live. Let's start with the grocery store. In Canada, a simple trip for basics. Milk, bread, vegetables, chicken can feel like a luxury expense. You walk out with 2 bags and a receipt that makes you question your life choices. Everything from produce to protein is just expensive. And let's not even talk about going out. A casual dinner for 2 can easily set you back $100. A movie ticket costs more than a monthly Netflix subscription in India. It's a lifestyle where you're constantly calculating, constantly weighing whether an experience is worth the cost. Then you look at India. The abundance, the freshness, the sheer affordability of daily life is on another level. You can eat out every night for a week for the cost of one fancy dinner in Canada. Groceries are cheap and plentiful, especially fresh local produce. You can hire help, a cook, a cleaner, a driver, for a fraction of what it would cost for a single hour of cleaning service in Canada. This isn't about luxury, it's about quality of life. It's the freedom from the constant, low-grade financial stress that comes with just existing. Travel within the country is also incredibly affordable, opening up a world of experiences that would be prohibitively expensive in North America. This is the long game. The whole point of immigrating and working hard is to build a secure future, right? To save up for your kids' education, for a comfortable retirement. In Canada, this is becoming a real struggle. After the massive mortgage, the car payments, the bills, the expensive groceries, what's left to save? For many, it's a shockingly small amount. You contribute to your RRSP, your retirement savings plan, but honestly, it feels like you're trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. The high tax environment means a significant chunk of your earnings is gone before you even see it, and the high cost of living eats up the rest. In India, the equation changes. Even with a lower absolute income, the potential to save can be much higher simply because your expenses are drastically lower. If you're a professional in a major Indian city, you can live a very comfortable life and still save a significant portion of your income. You can invest in property, in the stock market, in your own business. Retirement doesn't have to mean downsizing and living frugally. It can mean living comfortably, supported by your savings and investments, and often surrounded by family. The path to financial independence feels more direct and achievable for many in India today than it does for their counterparts struggling to stay afloat in Canada. Now, here is the game changer, the plot twist that's rewriting the entire story. The global pandemic accelerated the remote work trend, and India has grabbed that opportunity with both hands. Suddenly, you don't have to live in a high-cost country to earn a high-cost country's salary. A whole new class of professionals is emerging in India. People who work for companies in the US, Europe, or even Canada, earning in dollars, euros, or Canadian dollars, but spending in Indian rupees. This is the ultimate life hack. You get the best of both worlds, a global income and a local cost of living. Imagine earning a Toronto salary while paying Bangalore rent. Your savings potential doesn't just increase, it explodes. This isn't just about individual employees either. India's entire tech and startup ecosystem is booming. It's a hotbed of innovation and entrepreneurial energy. It's easier than ever to start a business, find talent, and scale up, all while keeping your operational costs low. The government is pushing initiatives like Digital India, creating a landscape ripe for opportunity. For ambitious, talented individuals, India is no longer just a place to be from. It's the place to be. It's a dynamic, fast-paced environment where you can build something for yourself, not just work to pay someone else's mortgage. So, with all this happening, we're seeing something unprecedented, a reverse brain drain. People who spent years planning, studying, and working to get to Canada are now packing their bags and moving back to India. Why? The reasons are a cocktail of disappointment and practicality. The number one reason is the crushing cost of living we've been talking about. People came for a better quality of life, but they find themselves working 2 jobs just to survive, with no time or money to actually enjoy the life part. The Canadian dream feels like a bait and switch, but it goes deeper than just money. The healthcare system, once a major selling point, is buckling under pressure. People wait months for specialist appointments and hours in emergency rooms. There's also the job market. Many highly qualified immigrants find themselves underemployed, driving Ubers with a master's degree because their foreign experience isn't recognized. And then there's the social aspect, the isolation, the loneliness, the lack of a strong family and community support system that is so integral to life in India. The dream they were sold is not matching the reality they are living. And for many, going home is no longer a defeat. It's a smart, logical choice. It's not just people leaving, it's also people deciding not to come in the first place. The word is out. The stories of struggle are flooding social media and WhatsApp groups back home. The allure of Canada is fading. Aspiring immigrants are seeing the long delays in the permanent residency process, with people stuck in limbo for years. They're reading about the housing crisis and realizing that even if they get PR, they might never be able to afford a home. The promise of good Canadian jobs is being replaced by stories of PhDs working in coffee shops, The system itself feels overloaded. The infrastructure, healthcare, housing, public transport, hasn't kept pace with the rapid influx of people over the last decade. It creates a pressure cooker environment. So, potential immigrants are doing the math. They're weighing the high taxes, the unaffordable real estate, and the saturated job market against the booming opportunities and better quality of life back in India. And increasingly, they're concluding that the Canadian gamble just isn't worth the risk anymore. Why go through the immense stress and expense of uprooting your life for a dream that seems more and more like a fantasy? Now let's address the elephant in the room, the Canadian passport. For decades, this has been the ultimate prize, the golden ticket. It grants you access to visa-free travel to most of the world, a high degree of public safety, and a sense of global mobility and security. It represents a stable democracy and a strong legal system. And let's be clear, those things are incredibly valuable. A Canadian passport can open doors that an Indian passport, for all its improvements, still cannot. The question is no longer is it valuable, but is the price of admission worth the prize? We have to weigh the pros against the cons we've just spent this whole video discussing. Is the benefit of visa-free travel worth the daily struggle of an unaffordable life? Is the public safety worth the professional dissatisfaction and the social isolation? 10 years ago, the answer was a resounding yes. But in 2025, the calculation has changed. The benefits, while still significant, are being overshadowed by the growing challenges. For a growing number of people, the prestige of holding a Canadian passport is not enough to compensate for a diminished quality of life, financial stress, and a feeling that the system is failing them. The benefits are still there, but they are no longer the trump card they once were. So, what's the bottom line in this India versus Canada showdown? It's clear the world has changed. The old simple narrative of leave the developing world for the developed world is broken. If you're chasing high income but drowning in bills, taxes, isolation, and bureaucracy, Canada might no longer be the dream it once was. The promise of a high salary means very little if your entire life is a stressful exercise in financial survival, disconnected from the community and support that makes life truly rich. The Canadian dream, for many, is becoming a hamster wheel in a very cold place. On the other hand, India is rising, offering a powerful new alternative. But if you can combine remote global income with Indian cost of living, family support, and entrepreneurial freedom, India could be the smarter choice in 2025. It's a chance to build wealth, not just pay bills. It's a chance to be part of a vibrant, growing economy and to live a life with less financial pressure and more social connection. It's not about which country is better in a vacuum. It's about which country is better for you, right now, in this new global reality. The choice is more complex and more personal than ever before. What do you think? Have you made this choice, or are you thinking about it? Let me know your story and your perspective in the comments below. Your experience is valuable to this conversation. And if you found this reality check useful, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more real estate, lifestyle, and immigration reality content. Thanks for watching.